Welcome to our Plugs Community Connection. I am your host, DJ Kitty Cat, with my sister co-host, Miss Morningstar on WKRA 92.7 FM The Change. If you're looking for the best in news, current events, community outreach programs, and shopping connections, you've come to the right place. We've got a great mix of content and community connections lined up for you this evening, along with special guest interviews. So, grab your favorite drink of choice, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
Good morning, WKRA 92.7 The Change. It is your morning host, DJ Kitty, here with my co-host, Miss Morningstar from Our Plugs, the Community Connection. Happy Thursday. It is almost Friday. Thank you, Jesus. It's almost Friday. Yes. It's been a long week already. Long week. I hope everyone had a great night's sleep. You are up and moving around. You've had your 16 ounces of water. You've made breakfast, or you're in the process of eating your breakfast or making your breakfast. Maybe some eggs, maybe an omelet today. An omelet, a veggie omelet with the side of bacon sounds good, and a croissant. Oh, that sounds delicious, actually. Some orange juice, some coffee. Come on in, get you something good to eat, something good to drink. And we've got the news you can use on WKRA 92.7. So to our listening audience, we want to thank you for participating and joining in today. Those who are joining in on YouTube, thank you as always for joining and supporting our live stream. We truly appreciate you. We're going to hop into right into the show, but before we can go anywhere and start anything, we must start our show with positive affirmations, and we get those positive affirmations from our affirmation queen, Mrs. Morningstar. As soon as she comes off mute, Mrs. Morningstar.
Get to talk and to be on mute. Good morning, everyone. Welcome
Good morning.
in. Happy Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday, yes.
Happy Thursday. Woo. Yes, we are almost there. It is almost time, y'all, to say the weekend has arrived.
Yes, I can't wait to say it. It is the weekend.
Because I don't know about y'all, but this week seems like it's just creeping along, right?
Yes, creeping along with a bunch of craziness. That's how it is when you get thrown into war. But anywho, I digress.
With his dose of craziness, of course.
Crazy every single day. Let's go ahead and get started with these morning affirmations because God knows we need it.
Yeah, so I decided that we were going to do a little different with the affirmations. We're going to do some funny daily affirmations, something a little different. Just, lighten the mood. It's been a mood. It's been one of those weeks. So let's lighten it up a little bit with a little funny daily affirmations that I came across, some short and funny and cute ones. So let's get started. So funny daily affirmations. I have to remind myself that I can't make everyone happy. I'm not chocolate, but I am kind of chocolate. I don't know. I'm more caramel,
I like that.
I don't care if people laugh with me or at me as long as someone is laughing.
Good attitude.
Yes. I radiate positivity most of the time.
Okay.
I love myself, which is not surprising when you consider how amazing I am.
Okay.
What?
Have you met me?
Have you met me?
Have you met me?
My friends are like my bras. They hold it all together. Yes. We need friends like that.
Okay.
Hold it together.
Hold it together. Lift me up.
Yes. I keep my chin up and my crown on.
Yep. Straighten it out.
And my girls will fix it for me if need be.
Absolutely.
I don't make the same mistakes twice. I make it at least 10 times just to be sure.
Well, consistency is key.
Gotta stay consistent, y'all. Because you're going to get it right. I promise you, you're going to
One
get it right.
day, one day.
Sometimes I have to tell myself, it's just not worth the jail time. It's not. It's
Girl,
not. It ain't worth it. I
that's
sometimes,
a daily.
I'm
Daily,
on.
daily I have to tell myself it's just not worth the jail time.
It ain't
Daily.
worth the jail time, y'all. It ain't worth it. I love that one.
Yes.
Feelings are just visitors. Kick the bad ones out.
Yeah. Got to get out,
Kick
get on
them
down
out.
the road. Yes.
Okay, and I got about 5 more. These are different ones. These are short, funny affirmations. Think like a patron, always positive,
Okay.
or a patron. Proton. Think like a proton. Okay, like a proton.
Think like a proton,
A
always positive.
proton. I
Okay.
said patron. Y'all know where my mind. Think like a proton, always positive.
Now, why are we thinking about tequila first thing?
It's
Okay.
too early for that,
Too
Miss
early for
Morning
that. Yes,
Star.
ma'am.
Even broken crayons still color.
They do.
They do. They do. Stressed spelled backwards is deserts.
Dessert. Desserts.
Desserts.
Yeah.
Desserts. Desserts. Oh, yeah, it is. You knew that one.
Mm-hmm.
Time to put on my positive pants.
Okay.
Let's go.
Happy pants, positive pants. Okay.
If life gives you lemons, you might be dyslexic. If life gives you melons, I'm sorry. See, I'm reading it. See, oh,
like
you
it.
get it?
Yes.
You get it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it tricked me. It got me, y'all. So if life gives you melons, you might be dyslexic.
Okay. I
It's
like
supposed
if
to be
life.
lemons.
Yeah, I like if life gives you lemons, squeeze them in your margaritas. But hey, that's
Oh,
just
I like that too. That
yeah, yeah, yeah.
sounds positive to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the funny affirmations, guys. I thought I'd do a little different. We always give a positive flow, and this is still positive with some funniness to it. So I hope y'all enjoyed that.
I have one that I'd like to add. This goes back to your first one.
Okay.
Um, Read the first one again.
The very first one.
Uh-huh.
I have to remind myself that I can't make everyone happy. I'm not chocolate.
Okay. And it puts me in mind of my daddy. I can't please everyone, so I may as well please myself.
I know that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those were some positive affirmations. Kind of quirky, but still working. It's still a work in progress.
Oh yeah.
And I will accept and receive all of them, especially the ones with the one that says
The jail time.
not the jail time. I love me. Have you met me?
Yes.
He's
I
going
always
to church.
tell people that. Like, welcome to my world. This is the
Yeah.
world, Miss Morningstar, DJ Kitty. We
Yeah.
fabulous. We're all wonderful
Have you
people.
met us?
Just wait till you meet us one day.
Okay.
Memphis,
Memphis,
Tennessee,
Holly Springs,
Mississippi.
Holly. I just found out I have family in Holly Springs.
Do you?
My family's from Greenville, Mississippi, and my aunt, one of my cousins, she's actually she was my grandmother's cousin, and she sounds just like my grandmother. I have family in Holly Springs. Her offsprings are in Holly Springs. So when we do
That's
come to Holly Springs,
cool.
I can connect with my
Yeah.
family. Yes,
I
yes,
gotta talk to you about that too. Like when we do get a chance to go out there,
yes.
we
We
ain't
have
talk,
some.
we
Yeah,
haven't talked to Raven.
Raven.
Gotta
Yeah,
talk
we
to
have
her.
to get. We have to grab her on the. Grab a phone call. She's so busy, but
Yeah, we gotta
Raven, I
catch
know.
up with her.
Look, Raven, I know you listening. We need a
we trying
call.
to, we calling you, girl.
Okay, let's go ahead and hop into the weather. So
Okay,
Holly
let's go.
Springs, it's still hot in most parts of the U.S. So I'm just gonna say that it's still hot. But in Holly Springs today, you have a high of 94, low of 70, with about 24% chance of rain. Winds are out of the south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Humidity is at 64% in the morning, 89% in the evening. It's partly cloudy with a stray afternoon thunderstorm. Let's see, your tree pollen is low and your grass pollen is high. Ragweed is moderate and your air quality is moderate. So it's muggy, plain and simple. Hopefully you get some sun, but not a lot. Memphis, Tennessee, high today of 94, a low of 74 with a 24% chance of rain. Winds are 10 to 15 miles per hour. Humidity in the morning is at 60% and in the evening 79%. Cloudy and sunny, straight thunderstorms. Tree pollen is low, grass pollen is high, ragweed is moderate, air quality is moderate. And I heard that they did the air quality testing for where Elonia is. He has his little, he's building over there, and he's they had to test the air, and the air did pass, which is good, but they need to continue to test the air. Houston, we have a high of 88, which I'm digging that. Yeah, as long as it's not in the 90s, I'm okay with it. Low of 76, about a 52% chance of rain. It's been raining.
It's been raining
yesterday.
all week.
Yeah, all week.
All week.
Yeah. Winds are out of the southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Humidity is at 70% in the morning, 82% in the evening. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. It's just been raining, period. Grass pollen is low, ragweed is low, and air quality is good. So we've had in the south pretty much rainy weather, but in the Midwest and the East Coast, it's hot. It is hot. And I apologize that y'all are getting Houston's weather, but hey, somebody has to take it.
It had to go somewhere.
Yeah, and we need a break.
It's going to come back, y'all. We ain't worried about it. We know it's going to come back.
Yeah, we need a break. It's all good. It's only for a couple weeks.
Y'all enjoy it. Enjoy that.
Yes, because we live with it all of the time.
A long time too. It's short-lived. We're in a lot of places, but here it's long.
It stays hot until
for a long time,
until the end of October.
Sometimes longer than that.
Yes, because last Halloween it was hot. We were sweating.
I remember first moving to Houston, and we were in the pool in December.
Yeah.
We were still in the pool in December. I was loving that. I was enjoying it. I was bragging to people back home. They couldn't stand me. They was like, "Get off my phone."
I'm quite sure because they were dealing with snow.
Yeah, they was not liking me. So, but that was on the first year. Since then, we hadn't got it like that, but.
We actually got a little snow, I think last year with some flurries, but it wasn't really snow. We were, it's snowing and.
Right. And I was just like, where at?
Where?
I'm like, where? You talking about that?
I mean, we
had
had the flurries.
Dust? That looked like dirt.
We had a little flurries. You got to give us.
I let y'all have it because I know that for a lot of people who ain't used to it and ain't seen it. I know
was cold.
I know snow. Okay, it's snow no me.
And we ain't I don't want to know snow.
No, good. You don't. No. Yeah. And Houston don't want to know snow for real because it's not equipped for that.
The best part about it snowing is when it does, they shut down the city.
They shut the entire city down. Nobody gotta go nowhere.
We don't go to work. We don't go to school. Nothing happens.
That's the cool thing.
That's the best part. That's the best part. So let's go ahead and hop into this news you can use.
Dude, what you gonna say you could lose? News you need to look. You want to lose because it's so crazy.
Want to lose. What do we want to hop into first? We're gonna talk about the man with the dead hand.
Well, yeah, we could talk a little bit about him. His over exaggerating behind lying. Let's call it lies. Strikes to the so everybody by now knows that he had bomb strikes in Iran at a nuclear site. And he did a news conference right after. He had his whole Decepticon crew behind him. They look stupid. Everybody looks stupid.
They
As
did.
stupid is, as stupid does. And they talked about how great it was and how it was obliterated. They
Yes, they demolished it. The
demolished
mountain.
the nuclear
You
sites,
would.
and they have killed the plant, the Iran nuclear sites, and there will be no more. They have demolished their nuclear plans and stuff.
Lie.
Not quite so.
Not
So an
not.
intelligence assessment of this total takedown of Iran's nuclear facilities seemed to be a little or a lot over exaggerated. The program will be back going in a few months, y'all.
A few
And
months.
apparently, sources are saying that they were aware of the strike coming, so they had already moved
What was the whole point?
the yeah, it was
Performance.
performative. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they had already moved all of their
They moved
nuclear,
all the stuff.
all of the warheads, all of the things that they need. They had already moved them,
Mm-hmm.
and they all they did was destroy empty. But let Keg's breath tell it. They blew up the entire mountain. Let him tell it.
He was so drunk out of his mind, y'all. He was irate,
He
talking to the
was
media.
rude.
Wasn't he irate?
Wasn't he rude? Like,
Oh, he was rude
the
and
fake
nasty.
news. They always want to
You're
call.
gonna have to dig a shovel and get in there because it's
If
on
you
the
want to
mountain.
find out, you got to get a shovel and dig it out. Who are you talking to, sir?
Calm down, little man.
They will
he was
never
on
let us
that
in.
on that whiskey.
They will never let us
We know.
in. If they let us in, security will be really quick. They will have us hemmed up. Sir, who are you talking to?
I would like, have you had too much to drink tonight, sir?
Are you okay? Blow into this breathalyzer. Let's talk.
Here, I got a self-made breathalyzer.
Okay. Because it's ridiculous. I mean, the attitude, just nastiness.
Just nasty.
And you're supposed to be the leader of the country.
No professionalism whatsoever. It's ghetto, y'all.
It is. It's truly ghetto.
I told y'all.
Yeah. It's the trap house. The White House has turned into the
trap house. Yeah. So the damage wasn't they didn't penetrate the infrastructure as they claimed. And so really the moral of the story is Trump
he didn't
a liar.
have to do it. Yeah.
Trump
the moral
is a
of
liar.
the story is we should have mind our own business, stop being a Karen, and sit down somewhere. You didn't stop anything. And yes, Iran and Israel, that supposedly they are stop throwing
ceasefire.
Yeah. We'll see how long that lasts. And don't get me wrong, I really want it to last for forever. Make it last forever. In my wet voice. But let's be real. Trump didn't do anything. He did this performative act because he really wanted a Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, you gonna talk about that shit?
He wanted that so bad because Obama got one.
They ain't giving it to him.
And his son, Don Jr., Sniffles, he had put a tweet up talking about how his Obama y'all are so jealous of Obama.
How long has it been? Obama.
I wonder if they got Obama tattoos. Because
but how long has it been since Obama was president?
14 years.
Yeah, because my child is 17. I think she was in 2008. She was born when he was elected. He got 8 years. So yeah.
Y'all still chasing.
Oh, that boy good. Boy good.
Frumpy, I know you're listening. You will never add up to that black man ever. Deal with it. Cope.
When somebody can talk and speak your name for 14 years because they mad.
He probably wakes up screaming, Obama. He probably wakes up out of his sleep screaming, Obama.
He do.
I know he does.
Mm-hmm.
Dreaming about the man.
Or Joe Biden too. Joe Biden. And Joe Biden just catching it by default because he was Obama's vice president and friend.
Yeah,
And
he's scared to say Kamala. He's scared to say Kamala's name. He's scared of that black woman.
he
Okay.
don't say it too often. You notice?
He doesn't. She must have told him keep my name out your mouth.
She turned her head too.
Okay.
Let me tell you something, bruh. Because you saw how firm she shook that hand. He wasn't ready for that.
He was not. So I heard that the New York AG Letitia James wins lawsuit over Trump's medical funding cuts. The judge called it a government racial discrimination.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the majority of people who it's going to affect are black and brown people. And the judge said, no, we're not doing this. No. So, you know, it's a win for Letitia James. And of course, Trump.
He always
You know,
lose. He is a
always
taco. He's a
taco.
taco. It's sad, but it's funny. But it's also really sad that we have to go through this.
We have to have these judges so that we don't get our benefits and our rights stripped away from a evil monster.
Wannabe dictator.
Kilmar Abrega Garcia remains in jail while the courts debate and the lawyers debate on whether or not he'll be deported. I know his entire. I bet you at this point he's like, just send me back to my home country. I'm sick of y'all. It's always something.
It's so ghetto here, y'all.
It is. It's real ghetto. But we will deal with this like we deal with everything else. Let's take a quick commercial break. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. You're listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, yes, this is my nonprofit, Carter's Caring Hands. And what my nonprofit does, we give fresh food boxes to those families in need that's struggling to keep food on their tables. We also go out into the unhoused community, give out care bags here in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. So if you'd like to donate to the cause, please go to www.carterscaringhands.com and donate whatever you can, so we together can uplift those families that's struggling to keep food on their tables. Highly appreciate it. God bless.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Sparkle Kicks LLC is your one-stop shop for a wide variety of customized items. So bling out your Crocs, customize that cutting board, get you custom dominoes. Stop by and we will customize your order today. We can be found on Etsy and Our Plugs LLC. I'll be waiting to customize your order. All you need to do is place it.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Middleton, life and executive leadership coach and owner of Radiate Coaching and Development, where we provide transformational strength-based coaching and mentorship. My goal specifically is to support you in identifying your mission, your vision, and your values that help you take your power back as you are building your career. Whether it's within or outside of the corporate world, my goal is to really empower you in making decisions that work well for you. So if you want to reach out to me, by all means, you can email me at radiate@midspiration.com or check out my website at radiatecoaching.com.
And I'd like you to do one more thing for me. Hold up two fingers. This is you, and this is me, and the space that exists between us should be filled with value.
Equal, a global human initiative, and its value identity model.
And we are back. We've got a few more stories I wanted to cover before we bring up our special guest for the morning. Let's see. Federal judge ruled Fat Nixon, ruled against Fat Nixon from eliminating union bargaining for thousands of Fed employees. So apparently,
He lost again.
he lost again. And why would you want to interfere with federal employees being able to unionize? Why?
It's anything to hurt the people. Anything to hurt the U.S. citizens. I promise you, it doesn't feel. Nothing feels like we're being taken good care of. Like, I don't know where the delusion is with these people. Like, oh, he's doing a great job. This is great. I
What's
have more
great about
money
it?
in my, I heard the guy say, I have more money in my pocket. How did he do that? And
How?
he couldn't answer that. It was all made up. Like, they have this whole delusion in their head, and they get on these social media platforms and just lie like him.
Yeah, well, I
It's
hear that
weird.
they're being paid. If you're
Yeah.
broke, just say that. You don't have to sell your soul.
Yeah.
Um,
Weird.
my last story is Carmelo Anthony indicted on stabbing death of Austin Metcalf. He's been indicted for first-degree murder. He's under house arrest. He's been under house arrest since April 14th. So it went to a grand jury and they have indicted him. And in the great state of Texas, where it says stand your ground, they will indict this young man. Yeah, we shall see. If I were his attorney, I would request a change of venue immediately.
Yeah, definitely
I
request
would
a
get it
change
out of that county. Yeah,
if he
change of
can. Yeah.
yeah. I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to be tried there, you know. And hopefully, if they do agree to a change of venue, they would bring it to Houston, where Houston is more diverse.
Yeah.
Because anywhere else in the state of Texas, good old boys, plain
Yep.
and simple. I'm just
Not
being
gonna get a fair trial.
no, he's not. And after reading Black AF, the judicial system is set up to hurt every one of us. Plain and
It's
simple. If
sad
you
that they
haven't read it,
would
please read
indict that young man.
it. Yeah,
Wow.
it's sad.
In that situation. Okay. Well, I had one more article, and it was
Oh,
really about top basketball player in college. The U.S. had revoked his visa, and he's from Sudan, South Sudan. His name is Kaman Mauch, a former Duke star from South Sudan, and expected to. So, he's getting ready for the NBA. So when they revoked his visa, tonight is the NBA draft. The NBA expect to hear his name. The NBA is about to save him.
good.
Good for the NBA. Kudos to the NBA for going ahead and, like, we about to get him, because they playing games. This young man has got his education, went to Duke University, ended in April, played in the sport, is talented, good in the sport. He's 7'2", big man. He has the ability to shoot, skills, all of that, size. He's what the NBA is looking for, and a lot of the NBA players come from overseas. What about the ones that are from Ukraine,
Yeah.
Russia?
What about
What
them?
about them? Hmm?
Is it the color? Is it the
Yeah. Does it possibly have something to do with him being from Sudan, Africa?
yeah,
Oh, and being black. Okay.
black? He's an
But
African, so deport him.
yeah.
Anywho, yeah,
Yeah. So they have
that's
revoked his
frustrating.
visa, which was it's just insane to me. But tonight I'm hopefully be able to catch some of the NBA this evening
That's
later
right.
on. Or yeah, we actually it was I probably missed it. I'm gonna have to watch it again. I'm gonna have to rewatch it or hear
Yeah,
about it. Go look it up. But hopefully they called his name. He'll be going to a team in the NBA.
yeah, I agree. And
Yeah.
I wanted to. I see Melba's talking about the people who were zip tied at the Capitol. It was 33 people who were zip tied, and they're in wheelchairs, and they were protesting because of the cuts to Medicaid. But did they zip tie any of the insurrectionists on
But
Jason.
I thought it was your right to protest peacefully. I mean, what are they
Evidently
doing
not.
non-peaceful in their wheelchair?
Evidently, it's not. You can only protest if it's something um, that Fat Nixon agrees with, evidently. And you're right, T Wiz. Obama has been out of office for is it 9 years? Let's see. Um, Biden did 4,
It's
and,
been more. Well, I don't
and
know.
Biden did 4, and Trump did 4. So it has only been 9 years. It seems like forever.
They
Anywho, anywho,
can't let it go.
can't let it go. But that is your news. Hopefully you can use it. You're brought up to speed, and it's a lot more that's happening right now, but that's what we have for you. That's the news we wanted to bring to the community today. But
Yeah.
today we want to welcome an author, a published author. Her name is Nicole. We want to welcome her to the stage. Go ahead and bring her up, sis.
Yes, let's bring her on up.
Welcome, Miss Nicole. How are you?
Hello, good morning.
Hi, J. Nicole.
I'd like to introduce to our listening audience this young lady. I actually found her through a friend. We have a mutual friend who happens to be Nicole's stepmom, but my girlfriend, my friend, and I always wanted to speak with a published author because I'm so curious on how you got started and all that good jazz. So today we have a treat. So
Yay.
I want to introduce her to our listening audience. Hello.
Hello.
So, Nicole, tell us about yourself.
All right. Well, I am Jay Nicole. I am out of the DMV. I've been writing for, oh gosh, I want to say since Obama was in office, like you guys were just talking about. So about 15 years now, I think. I've published over 50 books now, and I write in Black contemporary romance.
Wow. 50 novels. That's amazing.
That is amazing. 50 novels.
That's
Kudos
good.
to you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
So, have you always written since you were young? Tell me how you got started.
Yeah, so actually I started with my first novel. That's when the very first book I wrote was the very first time I started writing. As a kid, I just read a lot, like a ton of books. I was the one collecting the pizza coupons in elementary school for top readers and
Yeah.
things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then honestly, my late brother started, he was the writer and he did poetry and he was like, I want to write, a book of my poems. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's try that out. Let's see what we need to do to get that published. So we started with his book of poetry, published that. And once I started looking into that process, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to write a book. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard when Black women get bored, they go back to school or pick up a new hobby.
Yeah.
Well, that was me. I had recently gotten married. I had started my career. And I was pregnant and I was in grad school and working full time. And
Wow.
for some reason, I thought I was bored enough to write a book.
I think I did something similar to that, but
You just find random things to do, right? So I sat down and wrote the first book, and that was an amazing process. I think it was really an interesting outlet for me to do while I was pregnant, just something to keep my mind occupied. I believe at the time my husband was working nights, so I was writing to keep me, occupied. Like I didn't have a million other things going on. Published that and I thought I would be done. And then readers picked up on it, started liking it, writing me like, well, when's the second book going to come out? And I was like, oh, I don't think I had planned on that. Took a couple of years off while I, started raising my daughter. And then finally it hit me again. And I was like, you know what, maybe I will. So I went and wrote, I think, 2 through 4 of the books, like real quick. And I got those out. I thought I was done again. And then after that, it was just like almost like just something that came over me. I was like, nope, this is my thing. Like I'm going to write. So I've been writing ever since.
Awesome.
amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I love that.
So, what inspires you? Because of course, I don't have time to read like I want to, so I have to listen through audio. Audio. What is it?
Audible.
Yeah.
Audible.
And so I just listened to the first book. I've already downloaded the second one, so I'm gonna go ahead and start listening to that. And
Oh,
these
I'm
are,
behind,
yeah,
Kitty.
you're a
Send me
little
the
behind.
book.
I'm
Send me the
sorry.
book.
I am. I'm gonna send you the link. But the first one that I read, and I'm not gonna give the story away. You will have to go
Please
and
don't.
check it out. But I will tell you the title of the story, which I just finished. It's Influenced by Love, and it was really, really sweet.
Oh.
The next one that I'm reading is His Best Shot and then His Missed Shot. And then you have one coming in December. Is that one? Oh, yeah, that's part of it's a trilogy. His
Yes.
Best Shot. Okay, all right. So I'm looking forward to getting those titles in my playlist. What inspires you to write, romantic fiction?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I've always, well, once I got old enough to really start reading things that weren't assigned by, school, romance was the first thing I picked up, probably way too young. I think I was maybe probably like middle school reading. And then got into college or even high school. I think it was like my junior or senior year of high school, I got into Zane. So things I shouldn't have been reading, I started reading.
Now we
And then
all made the
Don't
Zane.
judge.
yes, Zane and Sister Soldier,
Yes.
Coldest Winter Ever was one of the first books, and I was, back of my social studies class reading that, and just devoured it. And it was like it reignited my love for reading.
Yeah.
So that was, why I kind of went the romance route because that's literally the only thing I read. I read a lot of nonfiction, but as far as fiction, that's really all I read. But now, with everything, all the chaos going on in the world right now, I realize why I like romance because it's a guaranteed happily ever after.
Yeah.
So for me, writing it just feels most natural.
Yeah. And is it when I'm thinking about writing, you know, what I guess how do you compartmentalize because you've got so many different stories going on? How do you keep them straight? I guess you tell us your secret if you like.
Yes. So my mom always asks that because every time she reads them, my late brother used to say the same thing like, is this you? Is this your story? And I'm like, no, because by now I have 50. So if that was me, like there's a lot of personalities living up there,
Yes.
right? But I always laugh when I write. Like I'm completely focused on that one story. Like even right now, if you were to tell me anything about Influenced by Love, like I know the premise, obviously, but the details I've had to read them out of my mind. Otherwise, I can't focus on the story I'm writing now.
Yeah.
But when I start to write, I write an outline. I have the full character development and have everything about them in a notebook. And I always laugh as I pick up a new story. And other authors will tell you this. So now I feel comfortable saying it because I don't feel crazy. But they'll tell you like the characters will start talking to you. So they'll start telling you their story. And as you're writing their outline or the story, they'll just continue to talk to you. And as soon as like I write the end, that's kind of when they like go dormant and they'll leave me alone unless there's unless I'm writing like a sequel or another series, and they'll kind of pick up and tell me a little bit more about their story that they want in that next story. But ideally, it's literally just sitting down and focusing on that one story and that one couple and all their little side characters that come along with it.
That's interesting.
How many what's the typical length of your chapters, or I mean like how lengthy is your books? Do they go long?
They vary. My latest release is probably about 350 pages, and each chapter is around, I go by word count, so it's usually around 2,000 words or so.
Okay.
It depends. Some of my earlier books, it varies, so those were probably a little bit shorter, around 200 pages. But it just varies. Depends on the story. I might have a little quick story that I tell, a little novella. Mostly those are my holiday shorts. I'll do a quick novella, like an update from a couple that I've written in that past year, just to give my readers something quick to read.
So when you are writing your books, which I noticed that you do different characters, of course, but which character speaks to you most? I guess that would be my question. Which one is speaking to you most? Because, and also not just that, but how do you choose the people that are reading on Audible? Is that your choice? Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
So for the first question, who speaks to me most? It really just depends. The story, will like the characters will come to me. It's always the main characters that are usually talking to me. Sometimes it could be the female main character who will talk to me most. My books are always dual POV, so it's both the female and the male characters. I do have a series that is male dominant, so it's the male main characters have their story a little bit more than the female main characters, and those characters kind of talk to me most. But it's typically the main character of the story that's going to talk to me the most. For the books that go on Audible, I did pick those for the series that you're reading, the sports series that got picked up by a secondary publisher, so they bought the rights for that. So they just found the story.
Okay.
I'm not even sure how they actually found it. They contacted me, and I was like, "Sounds like a good deal. Let's do it."
Okay.
But the others, I picked that just based on sales and what was selling well and reviews and things like that, and kind of translates well to what will go into audio. Although I have identified that people who listen versus people who read are typically two different readers. Like I don't actually do Audible at all. I can't listen to books at all. I need to read it. And then there's people probably like you who probably don't have time to read, who need to
I
listen
wish I
on the
could.
go. Yeah, exactly. So you have to listen on the go. So it's totally two different audiences. So I know that you guys are looking for something totally different when it comes to the Audible books.
Yes, we are. And
It's good when you, I'm sorry, Kitty.
no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's good when you have a good author, like, or someone, not author, but narrator. Because that, to me, especially when you are listening to audibles, because I like to read too, but again, I'm like Kitty, time is just crazy. I tried to read a book recently and I didn't find the time, so I had to listen to Audible. But what a narrator it was. Wasn't he amazing? And just that makes the difference.
It really does. It does. I find that it sounds crazy, but I actually listen to Audible so much. I've been listening to Audible for years because of my schedule. Although I was like you as a child, reading all the time. I'd rather read a book than go outside. I was my parents would tell me, lights out, my mother would hand me your book. No, I'm not gonna put, because I would sneak and be up until 2 o'clock in the morning still reading, and because that's what was my entertainment. But plus it was cold outside, snow. Anywho, so I wanted when I'm listening, I really want a narrator who's gonna grab my attention, and I actually listen and look for that narrator as well as looking for the next author. I like to connect with an author and read all of that author's books. So I'm gonna listen to all of your books. But then I like it when there's a great narrator who's gonna keep my attention, and their voice, because you're thinking about it in your head. If you're reading it in your head, you're reading it to yourself. But if you're listening to someone, I need someone who's going to hold my attention and not put me to sleep.
Exactly.
And they have the inflections in their voices, and you can tell that they know what they're doing. Now, my biggest pet peeve is when a narrator is a man or a female, and then they have to switch into a male's role. Oh, I hate it.
When they have to change their character,
their voice. I cannot take it. I did not find that on yours. It was okay. Yours was good. I'm looking forward to the next books. So what would you advise someone who's listening in and says, you know what, I think I want to tell my story. I want to write. How would you advise someone to get started?
Yeah, so I actually get that a lot. A number of people will contact me like, yeah, I want to write a book too. And I'm like, okay, awesome. What have you written? Like, what do you have down? My advice is always pen to paper, get on that keyboard, type away, because it's not as easy as just saying, I want to tell a story, right? All of us likely read something or have read something, over the years. but actually succinctly getting the thoughts out of your head, specifically fiction. If it's nonfiction, it's a little bit different because it depends on, what you need to tell your audience. But for fiction, you have to cohesively tell a story. But the best way you can do that is to get it on paper. Like, stop thinking about, I want to do it, and actually do it. Once you have, this is the best advice I've ever had, you can't edit something you haven't written. So like, you actually have to get it on paper so that you can start working through it and seeing, like, is this something that I can even do? Can I, write a book? Do I have the time to actually dedicate to writing? I myself, I write every morning. So a couple, minutes or hours, however much I try to get at least 1,000 words a day written. But if you can't dedicate and commit yourself to that, it may be, heavy, but just starting with, even if it's 50 words a day, I'm going to commit to doing that, and then seeing that through until your book is finished, and then saying, okay, now that I have the story on paper, or what I think is a story, let me go back and read this and see what it sounds like. Get someone else to read it, see what they think about it, get some advice on, what is this looking like? And then once you've actually done that, obviously there's a slew of other things that you need to do
Absolutely.
to get it out there into the public and to get it posted, and then to improve your craft. But the first thing is, you can't get to any of that until you actually write it and get it on paper.
Absolutely. I agree with that 1,000%. I see the chat is talking, and they are talking about Zane. I think everyone that I know has
the coldest
the
winter
coldest winter ever.
ever. That's my favorite.
She sparked in our
I need to
generation.
listen. I need to read it again, actually.
It's
It's been a long time.
I will go back and reread books simply because, I may have
life through the years you forget things, but I know that was a book that had me in the chokehold.
The one thing that I noticed is a lot of authors will get their works into film. Have you ever thought about getting your works into film?
I would love to. I would love to see it on screen. Yeah. So it was like getting into audio. I was like, okay, now I can hear it. That's amazing. I was like, yeah, the next goal is like to get it in visual. So I actually have a friend of mine, my husband's friend, is a screenwriter. So the next goal is to work with him and start talking about like transferring one of my books to screenwriting, because he's actually an author as well, and then he transferred over to screenwriting. And he said it's like a skill set and a craft to have that's different from writing, to do screenwriting. And I was like, I don't necessarily need to learn it, so let's work together and you can transfer it into
Yeah.
Exactly.
I hear that. Cut the corners. Let's do it together.
Yes, especially when it's called networking. Someone, don't reinvent the wheel.
Exactly.
Fall back on your resources, please.
That's right.
So is this your first time on radio?
I believe so. Well, I take that back. It's not, because ironically, my husband and I, when we got engaged years ago, we did the Essence Will You Marry Me contest and won. So we're actually on radio for that.
Oh, wow. How cool is that? Nice.
You keep saying my husband and I, you look every bit of like maybe 16, 18, 20. You look so young. But
and she said about it was years ago.
Ago.
What do you mean? Like 2 years? Because you look very young.
Very young.
I am every bit of 40 years old.
Are you really?
I am.
See how this melanin do?
Girl, I thought
See how this melanin do.
Early 20s. You are beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful. You know how it is. Black don't crack.
Well, Kitty, look at you. Diva.
I know. And look at you,
I'm 45, so.
And you look amazing, both of you.
I'm 55.
55. Gorgeous. So, it's just in our DNA. We can't help it.
It is. Ladies, let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. I've got more questions, and I'm gonna let Miss Morningstar talk so I don't, take over.
Oh no, we doing fine together.
I know it. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Welcome to Morningstar Boutique, where the sun is shining and the style is all about you, your beauty, confidence, and individuality. Whether that's your perfect summer dress, a chic jumpsuit, or outfit you didn't know you needed, we've got you. Stop by ourplugs.com and check us out. We'll See you soon.
And I'd like for you to do one more thing for me. Hold up 2 fingers. This is you.
Hello, fellow taxpayers. I'm Andre Martinez, and as the founding owner of EA Tax Pros, I can honestly tell you that our clients trust our team of highly skilled and experienced accountants. Why? Because we work with a passion to keep your money in your pockets, and we keep filing taxes simple, regardless of any situation. And let's be honest, taxes are not everyone's favorite. That's why, as a multi service accounting firm, our professional accountants have a deep understanding in all areas of accounting, and as well as tax planning, preparation, and resolving your tax issues. We lead the way of effectively utilizing the tax regulations and IRS codes to help our clients clearly identify the path of their personal, nonprofit, and business goals. So, if you don't know how to start your business or your nonprofit, we welcome you to the EA Tax Pros team, and you will have access to our enrolled agents who have earned the highest certification of the IRS, as well as CPAs, certified acceptance agents, and QuickBooks certified pro advisors. So give us a call, 713 496 0262. Or you can visit us at ea-taxpros.com. So come join the team that taxpayers trust. Also, don't forget to check out ourplugs.com, a community built with culture.
Hi, I'm Tori G, owner and founder of Say Something Tees, a statement t-shirt company. I got into this business by mistake, but the mission was no accident. As a Black female-owned brand, we do more than just sell shirts. We make statements. Our designs spark conversation, sometimes shady, sometimes in your face, but always bold. From the 92% collection, honoring Black women who always show up, to Dear Black Woman, a love letter to our strength and resilience. Our tees empower, uplift, and keep it real. Because at Say Something Tees, we believe your shirt should speak before you do. Shop Black owned, shop with a purpose. Find us at www.saysomething.biz and let's say something together.
Back, you are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We are here with our first author to ever grace the show, Nicole, and she's speaking with us this morning about the books that she writes. She has 50 books under her belt. Kudos to you, sweetheart. So one more question that I have is, what do you want the audience to take away when they read your book?
So my books are always Black characters centering Black love, but I want them to take away that they can dream and find love. I think a number of times we have in our community women who are very successful chasing their dreams and can be accomplished at that, and sometimes don't take time for love. So I want them to know that they can have it all.
I love that. And you're
I
right.
love that too.
We can have it all.
Absolutely.
And you hit the nail on the head. Sometimes we think that, oh, I've got to do X, Y, and Z, but reading a good love story kind of just puts you back into the mind of, okay, I escaped from real life.
Yeah.
And it's put me in a better space, a better headspace, and it helps with, in my opinion, it helps with depression. It really does. A lot of people do struggle, and a good book will help you to not give up, because there's always hope.
It kind of leads me to thinking about a question I want to ask you. I know you said romance novels. So, were there any specific moments or experiences that may have sparked an idea for you to write about in one of any of your books?
Yeah, actually, my most recent release is And Then Everything Changed. And it's actually love after loss. So it's a journey through grief. And actually losing my brother, I went to a grief support group. And it's amazing how the mind works and ideas and things get inspired. But in that grief group, I saw there were a number of widows there. And literally, the first thing that came to mind was like, oh, what if two widows met each other and fell in love? And that's where the idea of the book came from. So,
Wow.
many of my books come from just some random like encounter at the grocery store or
An
encounter
experience.
encounter out in real life, and then it'll just spark.
That was going to be my next question. How do you come up with your ideas? But there you go.
Yep, that's it. Just random encounters. I'll meet people and be like, oh, I wonder if, and I'll just start from one question. I wonder if that happened, and then there goes a whole story.
First of all, I am sorry for your loss,
Sorry.
and with loss comes, this, do you feel that your brother's with you, inspiring you to keep going? That's how I feel about my parents. They're pushing me to keep going. How about you?
Absolutely. He was my very first reader. He was a huge supporter. He loved my books, even though some of my books are steamier when I was younger, not steamy as I am getting older now. But he would always laugh and be like, I just don't know about this part, reading this part. But he loved to read my books and never shied away. He was a very outspoken person. Like, I'm an introvert. He was very extroverted. So he would tell anybody and everybody about my books. So I definitely feel like he's pushing me and keeping me going forward.
That is beautiful. I'm quite sure he's proud. I always think, when they leave us, they're our ancestors now, and they're our guardians. So they keep us going. They keep us going. So tell us about the new book that's coming out. I know you don't want to give it away, and I'm gonna be patient, but Miss Morningstar, I can tell you, I always want to know the ending prior to. But no one ever tells me, and then if someone were to tell me, I'd probably be upset because I do want to find out. But give us a snippet of, I know it's the trilogy, so take us through book 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, so the His Best Shot, that one, the one that's coming out in December. The ebook is already out, but so it's 3 separate stories. So all of my series except for one are standalone. So the one that you're gonna pick up next is His Best Shot, and that is a sports romance. So it's a basketball romance, and it's 3 separate players and them all falling in love. So it was fun to write. I am not a huge sports fanatic. My husband is, but writing about athletes, I mean, I think at least most women, at least you can relate to being attracted to athletes. So there's one thing. And some people may absolutely love sports, may not, but in the books, you get a little bit of sports. Okay, good. Then
I'm a basketball. I love basketball, so that drew me in right away.
Yes, then you would enjoy them. They are definitely some sports in there, but not too much for those who are not interested. They just know there's a ball involved. So not too much, not too heavy on the sports for those people, but absolutely, definitely a team. So it's the first one is a player who is on a different team. He's actually from Houston. He's on a different team of fictional sports teams, and he moves to an opposing team. So the other 2 books are the team that he ends up trading to, and the woman that they all fall in love with. So it's a lot of fun. It's pretty interesting, I think. And His Best Shot, the first one in that series, is my bestseller. So that is a lot of fun. A lot of people hate the main character because they think she goes back and forth. But I always say that if you can get that strong with emotion about a character, then it's a good character, because
then you're invested.
It's a strong word.
Yeah.
Yes. So His Best Shot is the first one, right?
Yes. Yep.
His Best Shot. Okay. Yep. All right. because that is my next. That's the one that's next on my listening. So what do you see in the future? What do you have next?
I'm writing still. So I already picked up a book. I'm doing the outline now. So continuously writing, continuously getting myself out there to find more readers, to connect with more readers, and just seeing where it takes me. I'm enjoying it.
I got a question for you.
Sure.
Because a lot of times writers, like my best friend, she wrote a children's book. So and now I don't know if she's going on to her second sequel or what, but the publishing, a lot of people, they say it's the hard part, going through that. What was your experience like with publishing process?
Yeah, so for me, I'm indie published, so it was not too challenging. The hardest part is always getting yourself out there. So my Audible books are through a publisher, and then my books are indie published. But for the Black community, it's a little bit harder. There's a gateway, to getting to the big publishers. Because they have to see it as a fit against all of the other authors that they're publishing. And those, don't always typically go in our favor. The larger market as they see it. I do see that, like, if you guys have heard of Kennedy Ryan, Tia Williams, there are some authors that are making waves right now that were indie published initially, because Kennedy Ryan was an indie published author. She's actually hybrid now, so she still does indie publishing, and she's traditionally published as well. So that is the biggest barrier, is just getting them to, not really convincing them of anything, because we are here and the market is there. Black readers are there. We all know that we're highly educated, so we're reading, right?
We are.
It's just for them to catch up and to understand that there's a market out there for
we
us.
can read now.
Yes, exactly. So we don't have to
don't
convince them.
so.
They have to catch up and realize that, we have huge markets out there. Like, it's a market for us. But until that, we're all supporting and uplifting each other, and the readers are extremely supportive in the indie market. So because they see it as, traditionally published, there's not enough there. And they know that the indie published authors can give them what they want and not have that barrier of writing what the publisher wants them to write. So it can kind of stay true to our stories. So I think that they're really enjoying that.
Absolutely. That's kind of like rap music, they want you to write or rap or sing about what they want you to sing about. But, you're right. The audience is here. We have plenty of, we have book clubs. We are readers. We love to read. We love to share. And hey, I'm reading this. And I know I share it all the time.
And let's be honest. It's our community. We know what we like to read. Or what is attracts our community in so many words, what will bring out a character or whatnot. So for a lot of these, like you said, trying to dictate and tell you should go this direction or this, that, or I think being more authentic and sticking true to yourself is going to take you further.
Absolutely. Because no one knows you like you, and no one knows our community like us. So if only they would understand that. Who is your favorite writer?
I have a lot, actually, and mine are now from the indie community. So Christina C. Jones, Alexandria House.
Christina C. Jones,
yes, she's amazing.
She's amazing.
Amazing. They are all amazing authors. Like I said, all indie authors. I love Kennedy Ryan. I love her for being the gateway into showing the world what indie authors can do, because, like I said, she switched over from indie to traditionally published. So there's so many indie authors out there, but those are some of my favorites.
What's the difference for those who may not know, like the difference?
Yep. So there's indie publishing is essentially you're publishing it yourself. So you either have a company that you publish under, and Amazon, you can go, well, now there's tons of places you can go and you basically put your book out there. There are indie publishing houses as well. So they're kind of like smaller publishing houses that will pick up a few authors and they'll publish their work for them. And then versus traditionally published is like Simon & Schuster, the bigger publishing houses
big
that will then,
companies.
yeah,
Okay.
that will then sell your rights to your book to a big publishing house, and or agents that will sell it to a big publishing house. So a little bit different. Money wise, there's different royalty structures for indie publishing versus traditionally publishing. Similar to when you hear like indie music, where someone, for instance, who was it for a long time? K Dot from Chicago. He was not. He did not go to a traditional major record label for a long. I don't.
Yeah, it's a few artists that did it that way.
Yeah.
The Amigos, they did it that way. They
go indie instead of going to.
They did their own independent.
Exactly.
Label.
Well, they're
going to a regular label.
Yeah, they're under a label, but it's
now. But
yeah,
when
now.
they first started their the set of money, they did all of that first.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. How is it? And this is, I'm not being invasive, but financial wise, can people, like, if they were in a career, could they transition to, if they wanted to go full time as an author and still make a decent living doing it? Or is it all about your push and your hustle?
Always going to be about your hustle. It's always going to be about your hustle. For me, it also depends on your career, right? So I am, in my daytime life, I am an IT consultant. So for me, replacing my salary, that's a heavy push.
I get
it. I did
it.
do, for 2 years, I did do it. So I did do full-time writing for 2 years, and I was able to pay all my bills, and it was great, and I loved it. But then I lost my brother, and I ended up going back to working just to give myself some space.
Yeah.
But for someone, depending on what their career is and what type of income they're trying to replace, they absolutely could likely do it if they're willing to hustle and get their book out there. It's all about the marketing. A lot of authors that I know always say the writing part is easy compared to the marketing. It's the getting your name out there and making sure that people know who you are.
So, Nicole, a couple more questions. How do you handle criticism? Because that would be mine. I want to write. If I were, I don't. I like to read. I don't. But if I were wanting to write, I would be devastated if people were like, I don't want to read this. It's stupid. But how do you handle criticism? I'm quite sure you do.
It's people out here like that.
Yes,
and
that
that's
like
call
that.
them the haters. But
straight up haters. How do you handle that?
What's Erykah Badu say? I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my shit. So I always say that there's, for as many readers as there are in the world, there are a story for them. So you may not like what I write, and that's cool. You may like what someone else writes, and that's amazing. But my stuff isn't going to be for everybody. And I you have, I like certain things, and for instance, I don't like reading books written in third person. And every time I pick one up, I cringe. I'm like, oh, nope, got to put that one down. And I know some people are the opposite. People love it written in third person and will pick up my books in first person. Like, oh gosh, why she write it like that? And completely be turned off. But there's a style for everything. That's the great thing about indie publishing, because now for all of the different styles of stories that people like to read, there's likely an author writing it. And people have something that they can relate to and enjoy. So if someone comes to me like, oh, I hated that story, thank you for reading it.
Okay.
You
read it.
Yeah.
Read the next one.
Exactly. And if you didn't like it, I'm sorry. And maybe let me give you a recommendation for someone else you may like. But it comes with everything, right? Like, you kind of have to let it roll off your shoulders. Realize, I think for every negative critique I get a positive one that, touches me deeply. Like, I get some readers who truly connect with my stories. And it's just like, wow, I don't even think I was thinking that when I put it in the story, but you found something that touched you, and I appreciate that. So I try to not, dwell on the negative too much, and understand like, okay, if it's a valid criticism, like, oh, this, you have a plot hole or something like that, then I'm like, okay, maybe, I'll improve that for my craft. But if it's just like a taste thing, then okay, that's fine.
My only criticism was it was too short. I was like, dang, that's in. I had other questions, but I'm going to pick up the next book, so I'm good. I'm
Well,
good.
see, that all that did was make you get
Want to
thirsty
go to
for
the
the
next
next
book?
one,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. So,
Yeah.
if you ever want to expand on that book, I'm cool with it. I
Okay.
did enjoy it. It's so. Explain your strategies on time management, because a lot of people are thinking, okay, all I have to do is write. And you did touch on it earlier. You said you do at least 2,000 words, or
1,000.
5,000 words a day, or what is
She
it?
said 1,000.
1,000 words a day.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good strategy. So explain to the listeners, how could they, break out a good strategy?
Let me add to that, because you're a wife and you're a mother.
Mother. Yeah.
Now, you only have one child?
Oh, yeah.
You have two?
Two. Yeah.
So we're wives and we're mothers, so we know how time is
Time management.
always limited. So yeah, just add to that.
That's a great question. And this is one that I actually talk to. I have an authors group and I talk to them about it often because time management is key. I always say give yourself grace because being all of those things is challenging. But finding your routine, and I know that's not easy for everyone to hear because I'm a routine person. I'm type A all day. So, like, schedules, routine. If I'm out of it, I'm crazy. If I'm in it, I'm cool. So just finding something, whatever works for you, whether it's a routine or not, but finding something that works for you. So for me, it is waking up super early. So I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning before the world gets up, before my kids get up, and get my day started. I do my Bible reading, my meditation, all those good things, and then I start writing. And that's a good day for me. Once I get all those things done and out of the way, I can start my motherhood task of getting the kids ready for school. Then I switch into my work task of doing my 9 to 5. And then after work, we switch over and start it all over again, to being back a mommy and a wife and making sure that they have what they need. But I found over the years with having two kids and, being a wife and doing all the other things, that if I get my time in first, so waking up that super early, if I get my time in first, everyone else is more satisfied. If I skip that time for me, everyone else is feeling it. I'm impatient. I'm over it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to deal with you right now. Like, I didn't get my time, but as soon as I get my time, I'm good.
That's good, though. That's good. What time do you go to bed? I always wonder that.
That's discipline. Yeah. What time do you sleep?
It's past my bedtime. I'm usually in the bed around 8.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you
Eastern
for
time.
staying up late with us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. What was my next question? Oh, I lost it.
Well, let me ask one, Kitty.
Go ahead.
If you could have a superpower when writing, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see. Superpower when writing. I would say that's a really good question. I don't think anyone's ever asked that. So I actually love plotting. So doing my outline of what the story is going to be like. But sometimes I hit those holes where I'm like, I have no idea what's going to come next. If my superpower could be filling in those gaps without thinking about it too hard, I would absolutely take that hands down.
Writer's block.
It'll speed it up for you, and it'll make things go. Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, because you're a mother, because you're busy, because life is lifing, and things happen. Kids get sick, husbands get sick, and that's the kids too.
That's another kid.
People need their time. It's just time. It's limited. So I was just wondering, like, what type of, if you could have one superpower, what would it be that would help you speed up the process? Or, that's cool.
Absolutely.
I'm digging this. Interview. I am really pleased because it's the first time I've spoken with someone who has actually sat down and written. I've read all my life, but I've never spoken with an author. So I'm extremely happy right now. What is it? Fangirling? Yeah. Is that what they call it? Fangirling? So where do you see yourself in about 5 years?
I've shifted. So my oldest will be graduating from high school in
I
5
can't believe she said she's 40.
When is she graduating?
She'll graduate in 5 years.
Wow.
Okay. You have
So
you have an eighth grader? Is your eighth?
she'll be in the 8th grade, and then I have Gas. I have my youngest is going into kindergarten, so
Oh.
we have a huge age gap. But
Huge age gap.
yes, in 5 years, with her graduating, I see life shifting again. So, I told myself that I will dedicate myself to my IT career for the next 5 years at least. So focusing more on that a little bit. So over the past couple of years, I've released a book a month, and that's how I end up writing so
Wow.
many. But I have slowed down this year. The goal, I think, so I actually have two pen names. Nicole is one, then I have another one. But the goal was to write only, I think it was 6 books total this year between those two pen names, as opposed to, I think, 2 years ago, I think I may have written 17 books in a year. So just slowing down on that, the creative side, and really pouring more into the craft and learning, how I can improve so I don't have as many critiques, and find more readers that will fall in love with the books in the meantime. And then after those 5 years, once I've gotten those things done, my son will be the age, or close to the age of my daughter is now. So, focusing on that, but potentially going back to being a full-time author again.
Yeah. So I really appreciate you taking out the time to come and speak with us. I am fangirling. You are
answering all the questions.
Yes.
So
Answer
eloquently.
all the questions. Yes. And I'm really excited to see, read the next book. I'm definitely going to start tonight because, of course. And I plan on, and then we have to wait until December for the third one. Oh, okay. Well, I have your number, so I may call you and say, hey, girl, question. No, I won't do you like that. I won't.
She's going to try to get you to leak it.
No, I'm not going to get it to leak it. But I know that our listeners are enjoying this because, of course, we're brand new to WKRA. But I want to expose our community to our Black authors. And
right.
I am truly, pleased and honored that you came on the show. We really appreciate you. Hopefully you'll be back in December, right before your book drops, so we can promote that.
Yeah.
I definitely want our listeners to get out there. Can you tell the folks how they can download your book, listen to your book, purchase? How can they get in touch with you to get on the train with us?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me. This has been amazing. I truly appreciate the conversation and the love. If people would like to pick up my books or learn more about me, they can go to my website at www.notthelastpage.com and find me on all of the social medias at by J Nicole, by_J Nicole. I'm getting into my TikTok game, so you guys can see my shenanigans over there and learn more about me. And that's kind of my goal this year, is to get myself more out there, not necessarily my books as much, so people can understand where the thoughts and the ideas come from. So hopefully you'll dive into some of the books and enjoy them.
Yes, please dive in.
What's that website again?
It's notthelastpage.com.
Not the last page.
And J Nicole actually put her profile in Our Plug. So you can also go to ourplugs.com. Hopefully J Nicole will go ahead and add her books in there, because there is a section to add your books, and that's another way that you can market it and folks can purchase your book as well from ourplugs.com. So we appreciate you for showing up, and we appreciate you for sharing. And we look forward to all of the other books that you have coming and watching you grow. I love it. I love every bit of this. Any last words, Miss Morningstar? We're about to wrap the show.
No, this was a great interview, great evening, morning. Thank you for coming through and answering all our questions and being a good sport. Thank you to the listening audience and also to the chat. We see y'all always coming through. I see you, Priscilla Hall, and I see
T-Wiz and Melbo.
Thank you guys for coming in. Always supportive, and WKRA as always. Thank you.
We will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow it is, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow is Friday, and we will be talking to KK and CC, no JoJo.
Yep, no JoJo. We do a little celebrity gossip on Friday.
A little celebrity gossip, some reality TV, some shows to discuss. We hope to see you then. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful day. Go out, touch grass if it's not raining. Get you some sun when the sun comes out, and drink your water. Stay blessed. Hey y'all, it's DJ Kitty
and Miss Morningstar.
We are here from Our Plugs, the Community Connection, and we will be your new morning host on WKRA 92.7 The Change.
Yes, we will be broadcasting Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.
We'll also be streaming on YouTube at Our Plugs LLC.
Be sure to tune in.